fully operationalize the new cities. I therefore pray that the report of this Committee on Government Assurance and Implementation and the status of implementation of the government assurance to fully operationalize the newly created cities be considered by this House and the recommendations therein adopted. Right Honorable Speaker and Honorable colleagues, I beg to report.
Thank you. Thank you, Honorable Chairman of Government Assurance, for that good report. I want to thank you for the report. Honorable Minister, on the issue of asset sharing, you talked about having the guidelines, but mine, I picked an interest on fraudulent sale of assets for the public. I want you to respond to that in line with Section 32(6) of the Public Finance Management Act. Yes, Honorable Seungu, Christine, Alan.
Yeah, thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I want to thank the chair of the committee who came in after when I was vice, and I also had the room to visit these cities when I was still vice chair, carrying out the same job. But your report is stronger than mine. So thank you very much, Honorable Abed. Madam Speaker, the issue of land in the new cities, Honorable Minister, through the Speaker, must be given a lot of attention. In the Fort Portal, the old district was in the control of land against the new city, and they were fighting against themselves. So who takes control of land? What is the succession and the process of taking assets from the city, from the old district to the new city? Properties in Imbarara, they were complaining, Madam Speaker. The old district was in control of the offices within the city, and the new city or the administrators were not having where to sit. Could those assets be taken by the new city because they are within their jurisdiction now? And what happens to the new district? Honorable Minister, Woodsmith, you are making very good roads in these new cities. Even in Masaka we have them. But what kind of contract did you sign with Woodsmith? Because after creation of making of these roads, there must remain equipments that will carry on routine maintenance of these new roads. But as we talk now, Madam Speaker, National Water breaks some areas. After breaking those new roads, nobody repairs them. And there is no equipment in place that will work on those roads after they are handed over by government. Places taken from different areas annexed. In Kalungu, where I come from, Masaka was a battle taking some parishes from Kalungu district, Chibisi and the Kasanji. But the resemblance from the time they were taken to the city and where they came from has not changed. There is still dust. You have put there some lights, night lights, but they are all filled with dust. People need to see that. But on what is happening is that you are putting strict laws on these new areas, stopping people from building their type of houses they are used to construct before they came into the cities. So could we see that change take place, Honorable Minister? Lastly, the governance, type of houses, governance structures, we need these leaders in the cities to resemble Kampala city. When you talk about the Lord Mayor of Kampala, he has a vehicle with the name Lord Mayor. Then in Masaka, in Mbale, in the other areas, the chairman, the mayor is still like LC5 chairman of where he came from, with an old double cabin. My interest as I enter Masaka city, as I enter Mbale city, any other city, I want to feel that pinch, interest, love, beauty of Kampala. And my mayor should also be seen that kind of status.
Of the
Madam
capital
Speaker,
city, the capital city with the Masaka city. No, I am just looking at the difference between Masaka and then Kampala capital city. Capital. Just put the word capital.
Capital. Okay, city. But at least when you go to Arusha, you go to Dodoma, you go to Dar es Salaam, you see that kind of happiness in their areas. That's what I'm trying to bring. But I want to thank the committee.
Thank you.
Thank you, Honourable Minister.
Thank you.
Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker, and thank you, Chair, for the report. Right Honourable Speaker, I personally, we are blaming for the failure of operationalizing some of these cities, and that it is only 4 in operation. But we need also, Right Honourable Speaker, to ask ourselves, is it a necessary expense now to have these cities operational, or we want to fulfill our political obligations of having more members of parliament?
You said how many are operational?
There are 5.
No, there are 10. You have Arua, you have Gulu, Soroti, Mbale, Jinja, Masaka, Mbarara, Fort Portal, and Hoima. Those are operational out of the 15, and Lira, out of the 15.
Out of the 15.
Now 5 are the ones which are not operational.
Yes, thank you, Right Honourable Speaker, for the observation. So we are wondering if that expense is really attractive to us now to really operationalize everything. But when we go for the physical development plans, Right Honourable Speaker, there are many of our people who have been residents of those areas for a long time. And it is just upon some people to shift the way they do their things, especially on the issue of land use. Right Honourable Speaker, our residents keep telling us, this is not only to the cities, but also the town councils and municipalities, that we do not take them through what they need to do, how they need to change their lifestyles. They have been here with graves, with their grandfathers years and years back, but the way they should behave in cities is really a challenge. And that other part of, orienting the population to fit in the city, it needs some special department in this process. Right Honourable Speaker, the issue of waste management in cities. Very many cities, we are looking at the structural plans and looking at operationalization of the governance, but land for the green zones in the cities, land for abattoirs, land for waste management, as if that one belongs to the MPs to help their people look out for where to, drag their garbage. Right Honourable Speaker, we would like more
You said the
elaboration.
MPs are the ones giving people where to take the garbage?
They are intervening a lot. People keep requesting them, the abattoirs, the garbage collectors and the leaders.
Don't these governments have that land?
The issues with the land, as if that one
I'm
is
saying, don't they have the land? It's just a matter of allocation.
Yeah, some don't, many don't have, Right Honourable Speaker.
We'll hear,
And the negotiation-
we'll hear from the minister.
And the
Because
negotiations are not thorough.
I don't want MPs to be seen to be the ones doing government work. It's not correct.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right Honourable Speaker, the negotiations are always not thorough. The land owners keep on complaining as if the compensations are mean, and then land
By the
titles.
way, for compensations to be done, the government valuer does the valuation.
Yes.
The compensation is not just done after seeing that this is your land, I think I should give you 5 shillings. No, there should be a valuation from a government valuer.
Yeah. Right Honourable Speaker, thank you so much, and we thank the committee for the report.
Thank you.
Those are some of the
Alan?
observations.
Alan, Tony,
Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Edakas.
I thank the committee for that elaborative report about our cities. Madam Speaker, I think going forward, we should think about making a law separately to govern and oversee the operationalization.
Which law is that?
Of
Tell me
this
the
city.
law.
Like it is with the Kampala Capital City Authority. Because as a former councillor at KCCA, this helped us so much and is still helping others there to manage the city better. Because the Ministry of Local Government seems to be overwhelmed by the too much work in supervising all the local governments in this country. Because these are cities, we need to see a change we need to see something looking better, like how Honorable Wung said, that when we go to other cities in other countries, not necessarily the capital cities, but when you go to Cape Town, when you go to Mombasa, you see at least some change in management, rather than when you go to Masaka, it still looks as if it was like LOC as a district. So
What is the LOC?
Local council or local government in Masaka.
Why are you trying to demean Masaka like it is a Masaka is a city?
In the name.
No. MP of Masaka.
And he's
Yes,
the one who made the report.
Let me first have Honorable
Right Honorable Speaker, for the record and others who are going to read these proceedings after us, when this matter of the cities came, it was unanimous. This parliament was unanimous and Honorable Sewanyana was there.
in the 10th Parliament.
I can forgive the MP from Chivoga because she was not there yet, but I cannot give Honorable Sewungu and Honorable Sewanyana. For us to start debating about cities, we are not appreciating the urbanization policy of government. And now, for you to say every city must be like Kampala or Mombasa, you are not recognizing the growth trend for any urban center. Kampala in 1923 was not the Kampala you see now. Are you in order, Sewungu?
Madam Speaker, I was still driving my point home.
Honorable members, I like when we ask question that is this really necessary? Is it necessary to have these cities? I remember in the 10th Parliament, government had not brought all these cities. It was a give and take. It was a negotiation in the House. People said, if you want us to allow your cities, also give us in this area. It was a fault of Parliament. It was not government. It was Parliament that added cities. I am telling you, I was there for you knew.
Madam
Yes,
Speaker,
Tony.
I was driving my point home.
Right, Honorable,
finish.
the Honorable Member Sewanyana, I want to invite him to Masaka City.
Yes.
Masaka, ever since was awarded the city status, has grown as the growth center for the entire region.
Thank you.
You need to come to Masaka and see the road network. You need to come to Masaka and see the businesses in Masaka. This parliament gave us money for a new stadium and we are constructing. I want to invite the honorable member. It is not true that Masaka has not changed. Masaka has changed greatly. It is growing. I invite you. I will pay even for your accommodation, honorable, so that you enjoy
the last time Honorable Sewanyana was in Masaka, he was in... so he didn't see how beautiful the city is. He didn't see the beauty of the city. Yes, Tony?
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker and honorable members. Right Honorable Speaker, first of all, I want to thank the committee for the report, and I want to support the recommendations. But most importantly, Right Honorable Speaker, urbanization is very significant in development of a community and any area. And we want to support government and this parliament. In the last parliament I was there, we supported the creation of these cities. And when you look at most of these towns now, which are being supported because they have become cities, they have become municipalities, under youth meets, for example, you find it changes the structures and the life of people. The economic activities gets more high. Social services in terms of education and health and innovations and business gets much better than before. I want to give you an example of a town, Right Honorable Speaker, where you you know very well Apache Town. When you get to Apache Town today, after the support under Youth Meet, the old town has changed, is beautiful, and the business has increased. When you get to Masindi, when you get to Gulu, now the main issue here is that this will require a lot of support from government and parliament in terms of guidelines, in terms of resources and budget, so that where there are gaps and challenges in urbanization, we are able to put in resources and support it to grow. So I think the general principle here that we should support the urbanization process that government has taken, parliament has supported. Now resources are needed, and that should be the center of our discussion. How do we prioritize supporting as per the report of the chairperson and the committee? And we see that we push these centers, these cities, these municipalities, and even the rural growth centers, Right Honorable Speaker. The employment has increased as a result of having these cities, and which Parliament must support. So I want to thank the committee and think we concentrate on what we need to do going forward because we know the challenges are there. I thank you, Right Honorable Speaker.
Thank you, Adakas.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Thank you for the opportunity. Let me also add my voice to thank the chairman for the report, and maybe just a comment on three things. One is really the issue of access to water. I think the cities, there are new cities that were approved, but with difficulties. If I use the example of Soroti City, we still have the same access point of water from Aoja, supplying the city and supplying Kalaki District, Kabremaido District, and a fleet of all those. I think it would be good for the ministry to now plan a source of water for only Soroti City, and also plan other sources for the other town councils, a fleet of town councils in all those districts. In Kabremaido Town Council, we face water challenges, and it's because we are dependent on Soroti City to extend the water to Kabremaido. I think it would be important for the ministry to pay attention to that. The other is really the emoluments of local councils, which I would tell you, it's the same issue probably in the cities as it is in the rural areas. Most of the LC1s, their work has increased beyond what it used to be because of the growth in our economy. Today in the city, most LC1s would get paid percentile out of sales of land and things like that. They continue to look for ways to be rewarded. I think the chairman and the committee were right to point out that local councils, whether they are councillors or chairpersons LC1s, they need better, government needs to plan better for them as their level of involvement has increased. And finally, generally the role of what we call a parish or a ward has also increased. Ever since the coming of PDM, we now see large populations around wards and around parishes. And those numbers of population require better planning. As I speak, whereas our policy seems to say healthcare goes to the sub-county in terms of health center 3. There's a lot that is happening in the parish actually, and the removal of the health center 2, taking it to health center 3 is leaving a gap that is not being filled by policy. And I think that kind of policy needs to be rethought. Even in the rural areas, some parishes are too large even to just provide for the resources. I thank you.
Ross.
Thank you so much, Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker, I want to salute the committee for work well done. I am from Terego, but occasionally I come to Arua City, which is one of the new cities. And the areas he alluded to, especially the garbage collection, is so crucial for the new cities. It will be very, very imperative upon the nation to specifically allocate money for the new cities for their operationalization, because the influx of the population is really at a very high rate. We used to run up to Kampala. Now you can imagine the number of buses that truck to Kampala every other day has reduced because we have a city called Arua, and we share Arua with Congo and Sudan. They are lucky to have a city made out of Uganda and in Arua. And also the issue of water challenge. I think whatever National Water had planned is so small now for the cities. I think there is need to plan for water, especially
Thank
water
you.
and sewage corporation.
Thank
I
you.
thank you so much, Right Honorable
Honourable
Speaker.
Minister, you need to take note of the issue for the garbage. It's a very serious matter, and that's why you find somebody had brought a motion one time on retention of NTR, retention of the NTR. Gabriel, then youth.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker. I would like to thank the chair of the committee for a very elaborate report. For me, since the window for operationalization of cities has come in, I would like to bring in the aspect of our town councils. In Zombo, we have 2 town councils which were created, but they have not been operationalized. But they are town council and Ward town council. The services, the money they used to get through the sub-counties, actually, the way they are being, the support they used to get from government, actually, because of the creation 5 years ago, they don't have the resources to run the town councils. Secondly, I would like also to ask the Minister of Local Government, since he has come, the policy of urbanization is good. In Zombo, we have Paida Town Council. Since 15 years ago, it has been requesting and it has been qualifying to be elevated to a municipality. To date, 15 years ago, if you see the reports chronologically, they have been qualifying, but up to now.
Honorable Kumo, let's first operationalize what was created before we create others. Because Honorable both is going to stand up, Honorable Angura will stand up on Tororo, but let's first operationalize what was created, and then now we now create others once we have the money. Yes, youth.
Right Honorable Speaker, I want to extend gratitude to the committee for a comprehensive report. Honorable Speaker, when the chairman was reading the report, I noted one thing that really made me think twice. He noted that some cities have development plans and others don't adhere to those development plans. Honorable Speaker, as planning professionals, we are often reminded that failing to plan, we plan to fail. Second, Honorable Speaker, these cities that we shape in the beginning, in the end, shape our lives. For example, if you build a city and provide more spacious streets, you invite more cars. If you build a city and create more walking space, you're providing comfortable space for pedestrians. If you build a city and create more space for cyclists, you're encouraging cyclists. Honorable Speaker, even our forefathers here, by 1945, found it very important to invite a German architect to come here and plan Kampala. But when you look at it now, most of the suburbs of Kampala are growing as grand slums.
Actually,
Speaker,
when you're coming from Entebbe,
yes,
that is a welcome for you.
yes.
When you're coming from Entebbe, when you see the buildings.
So, Right Honorable Speaker, I need to emphasize, it is imperative that we emphasize the aspect of development planning. Right Honorable Speaker, I believe strongly that these cities were created to alleviate pressure from Kampala City. Now, if we make the mistake of not planning for them properly, and if we make the mistake of not emphasizing strict adherence to development plans, we are planning to fail as a country. It will be absurd for the young people that come after us in 40 years to come to be raised in Uganda, which is one grand slum. It would be unfortunate. So I want to urge this House to emphasize strict adherence to physical development planning for this country's development. Thank you very much.
Eddie.
Right Honorable Speaker, thank you very much. I want to thank the committee for a good report. Honorable members, here we have a Ministry of Local Government, but is not in charge of the urban policy.
Planning.
The urban policy is housed in the Ministry of Lands. So it means that there is a constitutional conflict, which the government needs to take into consideration and say that if we are developing Uganda, the purpose of having cities and the other urban areas is to have a well-planned country, meaning that there should be coordination and good relationship between the ministry responsible for urban policy and the one implementing or urbanizing the country. That's very important, Right Honourable Speaker. Another issue that is very important is that when the Ministry of Local Government was creating the cities and the urban centers, like municipalities and town councils, the Ministry of Finance issued a certificate of financial implications, meaning that what was presented by the Ministry of Government and the government had a corresponding financial implication. So what happened when you came to Parliament and said that you had money to operationalize town councils, cities, and other urban centers? So is it that those financial certificates for financial implications, if they are audited, were they false or they were correct? Secondly, we are talking about resources allocations for implementing and operationalization of the cities.
Honorable, both. I want you to take note of what is raising.
So, both is
that when they brought a certificate of financial
implications, yes.
That was meant to
and
create.
The honorable members and Right Honorable Speaker, Oboso as the senior minister should be sitting here, because we don't see the Minister of Finance, we don't see the Minister of, we don't see even the Prime Minister.
The Attorney General is also sitting.
So, I would think that at least the other day, the minister in charge of works was actually lamenting. Right Honorable Speaker, you remember how the General Katumba Wamaza was lamenting and suspending. I thought you were in defense. Honorable Katumba Wamala, the Minister of Works,
you speak about your
did
issue.
come here
Don't talk about
and
you.
suspended national roads because of finance. Now we are talking about operationalization of cities. That's money. We don't see the Minister of Finance. So Honorable Magezi himself is going to
know that it is money. Let's first
operationalization.
Bring your issue.
As I conclude, we talk about resources, we talk about harmonization of who manages the policy, and actually to make sure that this Parliament does not create other urban centers without proving that there are sufficient resources to operationalize those centers. I thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Ayume.
Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker, and thank you to the Chairman for presenting a good report. Right Honourable Speaker, I would like to draw your attention to the issue of the Regional Maintenance Workshop for road equipment. In West Nile, like the Chairman had alluded to on the issue of equipment maintenance, our Regional Equipment Workshop is 300 kilometers away. That is in Gulu. So the turnaround time of the caterpillars, the bulldozers, the tractors is long, as long as 6 months. So we have to wait for up to 6 months for the technical team to come all the way from Gulu to repair our equipment. Finally, Right Honourable Speaker, I didn't hear the issue of sewage. Most cities have now resorted to septic tanks and soak pits. But I think the colonial government, what they left here in terms of the grid, the sewage grid has not been improved over the last 5 years, over the last 50 years. If you look at what they left in Kololo, Naguru, Bugolobi, and Nakasero is still the same sewage grid.
True.
I hope that in the new cities, National Water can also improve the sewage network as opposed to septic tanks and soak pits. Thank you.
Thank you, Akik. Then Angura.
Thanks so much, Right Honorable Speaker. And I thank the committee for the good report. For your information, I also studied urban planning. So whatever has been said here is also important and dear to me. My question is, what is the relationship between the mayors, the town clerks, and the MPs in charge of these municipalities and cities? Technical people and politicians, there's always a disjointed effort. And I don't know how many MPs who are here, who are coming from the municipalities and the cities, are listening to all this, and how many times they go and meet in the councils and find out what is happening in their cities. Colleagues, there is also a
Honorable Florence, it is not only in cities or municipalities. All members of parliament are ex-officials of
but for this case, we have MPs, specifically for municipalities and cities. For me as an woman MP, yes, I go there, I can go to the district council, I can also go to the municipal council. So I think there is need for these three arms of government, the mayors, the town clerks, and the MPs in charge of these municipalities, because that's why we created them.
They are not three arms of government. The three arms of government is executive, legislature, and judiciary.
Madam Speaker, I do understand that, but these three sectors, or whatever we can call them, it is important that they link together, because if they don't work together, so you may find that the mayors are doing their own things. We give them 1 billion. We give the municipality 1 billion. And what they do with that 1 billion, we may not even do, because it's easier for the MP in charge of a municipality to follow the nitty-gritty of that municipality. And therefore, and then the urban planning and management is under the means of housing, and then there's also local government. What is the linkage between there? So we need to have some sort of multi-ministerial planning together to come up with a way of physical planning. I don't know how the Minister of Local Government and the Minister of Housing and Urban Development work together, because we used to have, when I was an urban officer, because I was a district urban officer in Luweero, we used to have master plans for all these urban centers. And I don't know whether we still have those urban centers. They have even, because the planning takes place after the development. And that's why we have slums. We don't plan earlier. So by the time you go to plan, they are already slums. And breaking some of these structures becomes difficult. You may have to compensate them. So if we are shifting, we are having peri-urban areas. These peri-urban areas should be well planned than the CB.
Honorable Ngora. Jessica.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I also want to thank the chairperson and his committee members for a good report. Madam Speaker, you will recall that the whole country was declared a planning area. It is only unfortunate that we are not following this to the dot, and it is high time we emphasized and supported planning, starting with the cities now, but also urbanization in general. The rate of urbanization growth is so high, and this will be good for us even in the near future when we get people to urban settings such that we can release the pressure of land for production, as among others. Madam Speaker, as I support the chairman and all that has been raised, yes, it is really prudent that I also re-emphasize and re-echo the statement that you said. For us as Tororo and Bukedi, we are among those who are now expecting to get a city. And this city is coming with the relief that the problems that Tororo has been having, we are now privileged that when that time comes, we shall be seeing another 2-3 districts. So how I wish we could fast track this such that we are able to see how to bring development nearer to the people by getting the city of Tororo, which will be in Tororo County, and it should now come with the proper planning, and it should come with the provisions as have been raised by the chair and the committee, such that we see that move out, and the districts to come. I thank you.
As Parliament, we got a rumor. We got a rumor that Tororo is supposed to be a city. So I want to hear from the minister that how far have you gone with the issues of Tororo? Because for us as Parliament, we are ready to grant Tororo a city status.
Thank you very much, Madam.
Yes, Lob. Jessica, you don't come from a city. Yes, Jessica.
Thank you so much, Right Honourable Speaker. I want to thank the committee for a very good report. But Right Honourable Speaker, I want to support the rest in saying that we need to ensure that all these cities are well facilitated. We committed ourselves as a house, we committed ourselves as government. Therefore, we need to ensure that all of them are operationalized. Secondly, Right Honourable Speaker, it would have been better if we had that component reflecting what we need to ensure the implementation of all what we have planned.
Thank you, thank you. And when you're talking about planning, remember you are the same people who did appropriation. You'll need to check whether you did appropriate money for these remaining cities or not.
Lastly, Right Honourable Speaker, I really feel that we need to put more emphasis on equipping and sustaining our regional mechanical workshops. This will provide a bridge between our districts and the ministries. For example, the one in Gulu, Right Honourable Speaker, I am in touch with the workshop, but the maintenance is so poor. I recommend that the ministry responsible for the workshop comes with a comprehensive report so that we get to know the challenges, which is always making our equipment to be down, and we see how to address them. Lastly, Right Honourable Speaker, the town councils are not operational.
Thank you.
Can we also have a report? I have Takle Town Council. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Right Honourable Speaker, for the opportunity. And I thank the chairman for the wonderful report. And as a member of parliament from Mbale City, most of the things, the challenges we are facing surround funds, and as the minister stated, issues concerning garbage. Right Honourable Speaker, I think we need to address it as soon as possible because, for example, we only have 2 trucks that have to ferry garbage in the entire city. And one, we've dedicated it to the central market, meaning only 1 truck has to collect garbage the entire city, which is not realistic. And when you look at the money that was being sent to Mbale municipality, it's the same money now being sent to Mbale city, yet the scope of work has significantly increased. For example, roads. You will see we were covering about 150 kilometers under the municipality. Now we have over 500 kilometers to deal with, but the money does not reciprocate the amount of work that has been increased. Then lastly, it concerns the assets that were shared. When you look at Mbale city, the district took almost all the assets, even the land in the city now. The Mbale district is owning literally everything. And we do not have any road equipment. That is why we are facing challenges. We have to go to Jinja to bring equipment, and it's very, very expensive because actually even the employees who come with the equipment from Jinja, we have to pay them per diem. You find that we are spending about 70 million shillings in a quarter to pay staff that are coming from Jinja with their equipment to help in Mbale. We look at the roller, Right Honourable. We have to depend on the bus of Bukedea because Bukedea has come in on several times to help with rollers to do most of our roads. So we are
Bukedea is a very friendly district.
Bukedea is yes, Right Honourable. Bukedea is a very good neighbor and district, and it has been helping us. But it is sad that as Mbale as a city, we have to look at Bukedea, which is a district, to help us with some of this. And lastly, the issue of garbage, I think, Right Honorable, we need to look at how we can
But where
relocate.
we have equipments on a nearby district or whichever, these are all government property. We should be able to share as we plan for others.
Right Honorable, the challenge of sharing is we do barter trade now. What happens is they will tell us that our equipment needs new tires, it needs new batteries, and we have to go through that cost. Recently, we had to go through the same cost. And you know these equipment, the tires and machines.
Yeah, the cost of wear and tear.
Of wear and tear, yes,
Yes.
which is very expensive. Lastly,
Thank you.
it concerns the site where we are putting garbage as in Mbale City. I don't know what plan you have, but the current site at Doko, it's at the entrance of the city. So when you're coming to Mbale, you're welcomed by heaps of garbage, which is not a good picture. I think it's high time that we go somewhere else, far away from the center of the city, where we can dump our garbage. Thank you very much, Right Honorable.
Thank you, Lop.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker. Let me join colleagues to appreciate the committee leadership for a very good report. I'm only dismayed by something that missed out, which is relevant and applicable to the subject matter. The audit concerns of 2023, Madam Speaker. In December 2023, the then Auditor General, Mwanga John, raised a very serious concern about operationalization of these cities. Funds to a tune of 427 plus billion were dispatched as a startup fund. But in the report, to one dismay, a whooping 41 over billion was swept back to the consolidated fund. And of course, that is justification for lack of absorption capacity by those new cities, even when they were grappling with the challenge of constraints of finances. Because 3/4 of the challenges that these cities are grappling with are compounded by insufficient funding. How on earth would they fail to utilize funds that had been dispatched for operationalization of the cities? Madam Speaker, there are also issues of non-disclosure of liabilities by these cities amounting to 1.763 billion. And this, of course, has resulted from mergers, which I know the minister is aware of. I also concur with the report that experts are urging government against functionalization or operationalization or both of the other 5 cities until the 10 have taken off. The ministry, someone, I don't know whether it is in the report, but I think it is in one of the interactions I've had with the managers of some of these governments, local governments, including KCCA. I may not concur with my good friend, the Honorable Alan Sewanyana, who was proposing that all these cities should be under a similar act like that of Kampala Capital City Authority. That authority, if you read the act, is a mashed potato. And in fact, the mayor, the Lord Mayor and elected leaders particularly are up in arms to have it overhauled, not even amending it. Just because when you read sections of it, just like also in the Local Government Act, I've just been looking for this section 4, paragraph A. It says that the city shall be equivalent to a district. Can you imagine? Meaning that the city council shall exercise the same functions the same powers that are conferred on a district within its area of jurisdiction. So you realize that these cities would better remain as local government councils than being authorities. An authority gives latitude to the powers that be to make appointments, which in a way infringe on the rights of the powers that are given to the people to elect their leaders. That's why you see conflicts and rifts without number within the KCCA.
Yes.
Madam Speaker, the issue of guidelines, or rather guidance, let me use the term guidance, by the Ministry on asset sharing is rather taking too long.
Actually, asset management.
Asset management. And even staff establishment, staff restructuring is taking rather too long. And it is also causing lots of conflicts and disputes within the cities. I thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you. Let's first hear from the Minister, then we can have a rejoinder, if any. Honorable Minister.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker. And thank you so much, Committee Chair and your members. And honorable colleagues, the reactions given are quite informative, and we do appreciate them. Right Honorable Speaker, I've noted 14 issues which I would need to react to, but my immediate comment would be that we agree with the committee report. And we fully embrace their recommendations. And since most of the recommendations were giving us 30 days for implementation, it would be my considered opinion that, Right Honorable Speaker, you allow us to go and focus on implementing these recommendations, and we come back to the House in 30 days. The members have raised very serious issues which require adequate attention: the urban policy, the governance structures, the statutory bodies, are they performing? The staff structures, do we have adequate staff for the cities? The financing of the cities, and I will be able to show that actually government has increased financing, and even the local revenue has improved. But that needs a bit of time for me to organize. The asset sharing, where are we? The relocation of this district headquarters, I should be able to lay on table the gazetting the new town councils of those district headquarters. And colleagues, it is the law. The law requires that the district headquarters be located in a town, either municipality or the town council. Just cast your eye. There is no district headquarters which is not in a town. So already we've secured that. Cabinet approved it. We gazetted it. But I need to lay it on table for the information of the honorable members. The legislation, where are we with a separate law for the towns? The fiscal planning, which towns have actually developed their fiscal plans, and where are the other towns? The area of the road equipment, very important. I need again to link up with the Minister of Works so that we present the correct response. Remuneration of local government leaders. There is something I should be able to present in 1 month that is really moving in the right direction to improve remuneration of our local leaders from LOC 1 up to LOC 5. The President has already directed. We have a cabinet paper, and I would wish that you give me that 1 month so that when I come back, I come with something substantial to the House. The remaining 5 cities, should they be operationalized? Should they be left out? Including the rural city matters, where are we? The waste management, and I will brief the House that time of the strides we've made
in developing the solid waste management policy for the country. Answering the issue, are we going to keep on depositing, waste in the neighboring rural areas, or are we moving towards recycling, improving, turning waste into resources? Allow me to come back to the House. The issue of the sale of public assets, and where are we when we put a ban on those sales, where are we right now and others? So, Right Honorable Speaker, it is my humble request that since I've bought into all the recommendations of the committee, and I've also taken note of the recommendations of the House, I beg you allow me to take that extra information so that then you give me 1 month to come back to the House. Thank you.
Honorable Minister, I would also want to have an audit of all the assets that have been disposed in all the cities in accordance with the section 32(6) of the Public Finance Management Act. I didn't hear about Honorable Angura's question. Honorable Angura asked a question.
Right Honorable, the issue of Tororo City and the proposed other districts out of Tororo. Right Honorable, this matter is currently before Cabinet. We've already drafted the necessary paper for consideration, and as colleague members know, creation of a city, creation of a district is the function of Parliament. So when approved by Cabinet, I'll have to come back to Parliament for the necessary way forward.
Thank you. Yes, Silas?
Right Honorable Speaker, there is one thing that I thought is worth mentioning. The issue of water in the urban councils. Right Honorable Speaker, there is a policy by government that you cannot construct a borehole in a city, in a town council, in a municipality. But we are in a crisis because whereas they are saying we don't put their boreholes, the pipes for extending water in the urban centers are not there. National Water has not yet been given money to extend water in cities and municipalities. The same challenge is facing right now.
Honorable Silas, you're quoting it badly. The provision is that you must seek for authorization where national water is. That is the position, not that you cannot drill a borehole. It's about seeking for authorization.
Much obliged, Right Honorable Speaker, but it is a problem. And they are saying that once water is contaminated because you are using a borehole, there will be a problem. Actually, we are lucky even because the Minister for Water is here. And I chair the Watch Forum, so I speak from an uninformed point of view. There is a crisis. You need to help municipalities and cities. We need money for extending water. And WASH is suffering in these urban centers. Honorable Minister, you need to speak it all so that we know where you are coming from. Tell us, where is the water? Where is the extension? Where are the pipes? What is happening? What are you doing? What are you about to do?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Honorable Minister, it all comes back to what you're saying. But you've said we give you 1 month to come with the action taken report on as per Rule 229. So we need an action taken report on that.
Most obliged, Right Honorable Speaker. And as I explained, some of the issues raised refer to other sectors, like water, like roads, like the issue of the health units, like the issue of the sewage and so on. That's why I believe, we manage local governments, together with the others. The Minister of Lands may be in charge of physical planning, but implementation with the local governments. And of course, in the meantime, as we come back, Right Honorable, I would like to beg the colleagues, within the law, each member of parliament is a member of the local council at the district. Colleagues, help us so that we work together to improve some of these matters down there. I thank you.
Honorable members, the next item we have for Honorable Honorable Abed. The report requires a Minister of Health, acting lead of government business. I am told you're acting, Honorable ICT. Can we have the minister inside? The senior ministers, we get frustrated as a house when we come here to transact business and the ministers are not there. We have a bill on works. The Attorney General was here. We've been waiting for Attorney General, but the minister to move a motion is not here. We have this report of Honorable Abedi. The minister is not here. We cannot come and sit here and wait for ministers. It is so disappointing.
Right Honorable, I feel you and I hear you very well. The disappointment that you've demonstrated, I believe that the acting government chief whip, but as a minister on this side, we are going to mobilize ourselves and be here tomorrow as we wait for the feedback from the acting government chief whip, who could have been briefed.
The House is adjourned to tomorrow.
Yeah, because the minister is not there.